So imagine you don't have the key. That's what we're going to do today. Imagine you don't have the key and you're going to use this tool to make a new key. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is Mike with Door and Lock Tips. I'm going to be talking about a key cutting machine that fits in the palm of your hand. It's made by Wenxing. It's a code originator barrel lock key cutter. So have you seen these round keys? That's what this cuts. This cuts those keys so beautifully as to not hardly believe it. And you're going to need this tool because you're going to need to cut some of these keys. It's very inexpensive. Let's take a look at this price on this thing. You're not going to believe it. You can get it from locksmiths.com, and let's see the price on it. $149. What a great tool. Now this cuts the standard round keys. So there's 3 different flavors of these keys, and I think you're gonna understand how it works and just how easy you can use it. What a great tool. So let's get into the show. Here's the tool. Look at that. All steel. The cutter's self-contained, goes into a case-hardened sleeve. The back part allows you to put the key in there, and the key barrel slides over this part, and then it indexes around in circles with this part of the tool right here. This is your indexer. You'll see how it works close up, but look how nice that is. By Wenxing. Yeah. Here's the gauge that comes with the tool. This gauge is so important. I mean, I don't know where you're going to find one of these bad boys, but you need a paper thin gauge to slip down on these notches of the key to find out just what the cuts are for us to make a key. And I'll show you what else you're going to need. So this comes with the tool, Wenxing, and these you buy separately. You're going to buy blanks. I'll show you where to get them. I'll leave them down in the description. And then we're going to cut these notches on the key with that tool. You don't have to spend a lot of money on these keys. This is the standard key, 5 to a pack. There's the number. So it's JMA key. You can get them from locksmiths.com. 5 to a pack. And these are blanks. We're going to have 2 brands of locks. So this is made by Kwikset. Quite nice. The finish on it's beautiful. There it is. That's the lock. And then we got a shorter one. Same kind of locks, shorter, standard barrel on it. And this is made by LSDA. Have some fun with them and learn how to pick them. Now here is a beautiful chart. You can get this from CLK Supply. I downloaded it. He's got a great video on these locks. And we are going to use this right here. So out of all these 4 different kinds, this is the standard of the industry. So that's what this lock is right here. It goes with that key. So there is the standard barrel size. So it's a 1137B brass, and that's steel. You really have a better chance of cutting these keys if they're made out of brass. And that's what I suggest right there, that key. And then get yourself any of these locks. This will fit it. These other ones really aren't used that much, only in high security. So this is going to be your standard lock. Yeah. Let's get right into it. We have our stand. This is a magnetic stand. Look at how cool this is. I'm really liking this stand, guys. You can get this from Amazon. I have other videos about it. I mean, look at how cool this is. Super powerful. So we're going to stick our lock in the clamp, and it really holds tightly. How about this one first? This is Compex. Look at how nice this lock is. It's beautiful. Let's see if the key works. Oh, won't be this one. This is LSDA. And here is the Compex key. And you gotta get this notch right there in the barrel. And then you just push slightly forward and it turns it. So imagine you don't have the key. That's what we're going to do today. Imagine you don't have the key and you're going to use this tool to make a new key. That's what we're doing today. We're going to make a new key. So first, this would be probably in a cabinet somewhere. You mount this on your pinning tray and you take a very unique tool. This is made by Southord. Has a rubber handle, and these are picks, individual picks. Can you loosen up this chuck that holds the picks? And you slide them forward, just like that. And then you push it down. Got a nice metal surface here. Let me make sure I did that right. And they're all even. Well, they're not, are they? So let's do it. Nice and flat. There we go. Now they're right. Now you tighten your chuck up. Probably about that tight. You'll experiment. I put a blue mark where the pin is on the inside. It helps me find my way easier. Now all you do is you stick this in, you go push it in a few times, and then try turning, pushing it in a few times, try turning, pushing it in a few times, try turning. Takes a second or two. There we go, we're through. Look at how easy that is. I want to make sure I did it right. Yeah, it's very easy at this point. Now you tighten up this chuck. Quite easy to tighten the chuck. And that locks all these in place. Now we're going to read these pins off of this pick. Let's make sure I did it right. Oh yeah. It's got to be easy when it turns. So it changes sometimes when you tighten this. And we don't really want that to happen. It's beautiful. All right, now we're going to take our gauge and we're going to read the key. When I say read the key, we're going to read the pick, and this pick will be just like the key. This is a key right now, if you can imagine that. I impressioned those pins and pushed those picks backwards, all these little picks. And that's exactly what the key is now. Here's the key. And those are the same cuts on the key. I wrote this up and I used a round cover off of one of the lenses on a special magnifying glass I have. Just look around your house, you're going to find something like this. And I marked it so I can use it in a future video or whatever. So I've already read the key, but I'll show you how I arrived at that. So you take your pen and you write around circles, and then you mark counterclockwise as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 pins. So there is our worksheet. You're going to keep that kind of handy. We'll move our tool out a little bit. So here's our worksheet. So we already impressioned with our tool. Now let's read this tool. So you're going to do it counterclockwise. So our first measurement is going to be right there. You take this little notch and you put it down on the top of that pin. This pin right there. Now I'm looking through a magnifying glass because it's much easier to do that. In fact, let me show you what I'm looking through. I'm looking through a lit up magnifying glass from my magnetic picking stand. All right, the first cut is a number 1. So this first one right here is a number 1, right there. So I got number 1 written down, counterclockwise. The second cut is going to be, I say it's 2, but let's just make sure. I just realized I put the numbers backwards. Oh man. Okay, so we'll try to read it properly now. So the second number, counterclockwise, is going to be, we'll just see. It's not a 3. It's going to be, it's not a 2. It's a 3, guys. It's a 3. So the second one's a 3. So we're going to change that. It's a 3. Let's get the third one counterclockwise. It's not a 7. It's between a 6 and a 7. So you're best off picking the 6. Now always cut it deeper. You can't add pieces to the E if you cut it. So we're going to say that's a 6. So I have a 6. Now I'm just going to put, it might be a 7. The next measurement is a 6. So that truly is a 6. So this next measurement, it's not a 5. It's probably a 4, but it could be a 5, guys. So I've written that down, 4, but it could be a 5. So we'll start out the shortest, smallest ones first, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the sixth one is, well, I don't know, it kind of looks like a 5. But it might be a 4, guys. We'll say it's a 4. Could be a 5. All right, now our last cut closest to the pin. Yeah, it's a 1. Okay, so there's our numbers. So let's go ahead and cut this. Here's our machine. Zero would be right there. And we're going to take our key blank. See that notch? That's where the tip goes, right there. There's a notch inside the key, and it slides right on that. And then you got to pull your cutter back to turn it. See? This turns. And we're going to be at number 1. So there's 0. And we're going to be at number 1. Clicks right in. So we're going to see this. You stick these in their 2 little sliding holders. There we have it. We're on 1. Now see, you can just click it, whatever cut you want. So there's number 1. And our first cut on number 1 counterclockwise from that notch is going to be a number 1. So you line this up with the number 1. Right there with that number 1. Hold your key in with your hand like this. Turn it. You notice it's cutting. See that blade sticking out? Pull your blade back and you go to number 2. Just like that. And the next one's going to be a 3. So you turn this to the 3. And you take and you hold this. And you start pushing on this. And you just turn this clockwise until you get the key cut. And you'll be all the way down on that case hardened bushing. That bushing right in there. This will bottom out with that bushing. Okay, there we have that. Now we pull our cutter out. And our next one is going to be a 6. So we go to the 3rd cut, which is right there, 3rd cut, and we're going to go to 6. Line that up with the 6. We're on the 3rd cut. That's quite a ways in there. Now you got to put a little elbow grease into it. That's why you get brass keys, because it's easier to work with. All right, you pull this back. And the reason you pull this back is it will not turn unless you pull that cutter out. Now we're going to go to the 4th cut. Just like that, the 4th pin on that key, and that's going to be a 6. So they're both 6s. So we just leave that alone. We hold this in, otherwise it'll shove the key out. You hold this in and you turn it. You'll feel it's not cutting anymore. And see the chips there? Now we'll go to the next cut. Will be our 5th cut. And the 5th cut is going to be a 4. So we change this to 4. And we got our 5th mark there. And I'm lining these marks up with that white dot there. So on the 5th cut, and we hold it, and we turn it clockwise. Like a little reamer or an end mill. I'll show you the tip of this thing. See the tip? Pretty cool, huh? You can buy replacements. That was number 5 right there. So now we're going to go to number 6, and that's going to be 4. So we're going to click it to 6. Number 6. And then we're going to do a number 4 again. So we're cool with the depth there. These are really depths. Imagine if this was a steel key. This would be really hard to cut. Okay, I got that cut. And we're pulled back. Hopefully you can see that. Pull this back and we'll do our 7th cut. This is our last cut. And it's going to be a number 1. Click this all the way to 1. Okay, we got that cut. Moment of truth. Not going to guarantee. I have not cut a key to see if it's really for real. So you just pull this off. You see there's the notch on the inside. This goes into that. Pull your key out. And look how nicely cut that is. Hopefully it works. Let's find out. Here's our lock. It does not work. We know it doesn't work. So let's stick it back in again. No big deal. We'll get it back to 1. Right like that. Back from 0, where the pin is, to number 1. We know we got number 1 is cut properly. Number 2 is a 3. We know that's right. All right, number 3 could be a 7. So let's do a 7 on that. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3. 3 could be a 7. So let's go ahead and put it at 7. That's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll put our cutter in there. Hold the key. Take off a little more. Okay, we got that. We'll test the key out. Nope. We're still different cuts on this. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go 4 and 5. 5 could be a 5. So let's try a 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're best testing it, because it may work. No, almost so. Let's go to the 6th cut. It'll be a 5. Maybe. We're on the 6th, and we're on a 5. Okay, got that done. Almost, guys, almost. Well. I did not measure it right. Let me do a little check in here. I had to adjust that cutter. I may have done that wrong. No, I think I did it right. I'm looking through a high-powered magnifying glass right now. Yeah. So I need to check this one more time and see what's wrong, because there is definitely a miscut in here. So stay tuned. Guys, I think what's happened is this 3 should have been a 2. I should have just left it alone. Let me go ahead and cut this key. This should be a 2. We're going to say that 3 was too deep. So we're going to cut all of these again, but just with that number 2. I think that's what messed it up. So let me get another key. Watch how fast it goes once you've learned how to use the tool. Let's get back to the show. A new key in. Get that lined up. That's with 0. Now we're going to go to 1. The first cut is going to be a 1. Second cut is a 2. Third cut is a 6. Fourth cut is a 6. You go till you hit bottom, and it'll get real easy to turn. The fifth cut is a 4. go. Getting a little workout here. The 6th cut is a 4. You got to get through that chrome. There we go. Okay, now the 7th cut should be a 1. Let's see if it works. Does not work. Oh, yes, it does. Oh, good. I was starting to lose faith in mankind. Yeah, it works great. I think I got some chips in there. We don't really want that. There we have it, guys. Works perfect. Now you could take a buffer. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and hit this with a little buffer. Works perfect. So buffing on it a little bit helps. So there we have it, guys. Trial and error to some degree. But you know, these keys are very inexpensive. And the locks are too. So it's worth investing in a nice handheld code cutting wonder. And by the way, you get full directions. It really is a great machine. Highly recommend this one. There's the model number. If you don't get this in your arsenal, you won't be able to do tubular locks. Why wouldn't you want to do that? For little to nothing, you can cut tubular lock keys. Here it is. Handheld tubular key originator cutter. And that's the standard bore. How much? $149. Come on, guys. Get this into your arsenal. There you have it. Lockpicks.com. Please subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends. And I will have more door and lock tips like this coming your way in the future. Yeah.